All right, everybody, we're just going to go ahead and begin. For today's webinar, right, like I mentioned, I'm going to pretty much walk through for all the newer members using Thinkorswim on every little tool and tip and how to kind of maneuver through the platform. So it's a little bit more easier for you guys when you guys trade. Also, I'm going to talk about how I set up my charts and the way I have everything set up on my external monitor. But I know, from a beginner standpoint, I've been using this for like 7 or 6 years now. And I know it's a little overwhelming. So we're just going to go ahead and first talk about every little detail before I go into how to add studies, how to, detach your charts, how to link up your tickers so that if you click on one ticker, all of your charts change simultaneously. We're gonna go over all of that. So just gonna go ahead and start with just a brief overview of what my monitor is. I know if you guys are new, this is not what you guys see. If anything, it might just be on like your monitor tab and whatnot. But looking at all of this, right? The first thing I wanted to kind of go through, right, as a trader, right? You don't really have to worry about anything. You just have to go into what you see at the trade tab up top. Hold on, let me move this so I can see this a little better. Okay, there you go. Right. So on the trade tab right over here, okay, you have all of these different parameters, right? All these different bars and whatnot where you can kind of go into where you need to trade and where you want to trade. And of course, this is going to be the main focus of where you are going to be executing your trades. If you are not, I guess, in a way, setting up your charts and using active trader, this is pretty much where you're going to be, buying and selling, selling and buying, whatever it is. But of course, going into each of these different tabs. Okay. Under all products, right, you obviously have your option chain. Okay. Again, this is just going to be a webinar based off how to maneuver, how to navigate. I'm not going to talk about calls, puts, what this is and whatnot. You guys should have a basic understanding of what this is. But this is the option chain. This is where you will find majority of all of your options. Okay. I think on a standard or a default point of view, you have it set something like this. I think it's by 4. And then you have it something like that where you don't really see much. What I like to do is I pretty much leave it at 14. And of course, if you guys have it opened, go ahead and, mess with it at the same time while you're watching this video. If I'm going too quickly, just tell me to stop and pause and go back and whatnot. But what I do is, like I said, I'll leave everything to 14. Okay. Some people, if you want to go more out the money, from time to time, I'll click all and I'll go through like all of these option chain if I'm really looking for a lotto, right? But most of the time, like you guys know, 14 is good enough for me just to kind of gauge what the contracts are kind of looking like. And of course, I usually trade the at the monies right around right here. Secondly, right, if you go to click this layout option, okay, you're going to see a bunch of these customization aspects where you can design and what you guys want to see. From a default perspective, correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably only going to see like the last price, the I don't know, maybe the volume and the size or something like that. Go ahead and click customize, right? Or go ahead and click one of these already defaulted setups if you like them. And what I have it as, obviously, if you can look at it, is I have open interest, right? I have probability in the money. I honestly don't use that, but I don't know why it's there, just there. It's probably from default. The theta, delta, implied volatility, last X, size, volume, and gamma. Okay. And that's just what I have it. Okay. There's no right way to kind of customize your design, just what you guys look at. But the main thing, like I tell you guys all the time, what I look at is pretty much the open interest, right? Which is this tab right here. And I look at the volume, which is pretty much my go-to when I'm looking at contracts to see which contract I'm actually trading. Very quickly, right? How I look at it is I look for high open interest and high volume, which usually at the money contracts are going to be the most liquid. And of course, if you're looking at, I guess we'll go in a little deep. If you look at the liquidity of it, right, the bid ask spread and how tight it is, you want it to be as tight as possible. Obviously, there's only 1 cent difference. Okay, so that's pretty good. Other than that, you clear these drawings. Go ahead and set that up if you like that. Of course, when you click on it again and you click customize, there's a bunch of stuff you can look through to see how you guys want to fine tune your strat and what you guys look for when you guys trade these options contracts. But like I said, this is what I use pretty much. And that's all I really need to look at. Going into Forex Trader, you can ignore that unless you're a Forex trader. Futures traders, same, you can ignore it too. The next tab we're really going to kind of dive into is the active trader tab. Okay. So for me, obviously, you guys know I trade on the active trader, actual detached graph. I don't use this. I just kind of had this when I was a beginner just because it was very large. I only had one monitor at the time. It looked very clean on the charts. So I usually have a different monitor for this tab just to look at on the daily chart. Okay. And this kind of just gives you a whole insight of what your charts look like. I think from a default perspective, you have it something like this. Okay. And then like one side is active trader, where it's, I forget what it was, but it's like active trader numbers. And then, you know, over here is like another chart and another active trader number. So you can go ahead and click this chart. Okay. I'm going to show you how I use everything. So just what I like to do is forget the other charts, just go back to one. Keep this chart as your large, your larger time frame charts, just because when you, every time you click on this, you should be able to look at your charts and see what, you know, the broader, you know, range is going through, right? You want to trade with the trend, right? The trend is your friend. So I always use this just to look at what, you know, if I zoom back out by double clicking what the trend is. And let me make this a little cleaner so you guys could understand it from a default perspective, right? So it should look something like this, if not very similar. Okay. But regardless, keep this graph the way it is. Don't touch it, in my opinion. You know, you can always kind of tap in and out just to kind of look at, you know, what the larger time frame is doing. But of course, going into the sidebar right now, this is pretty much the bulk of what you're going to be looking at, right? So for SPY, you guys going to have I think a news tab somewhere here. Okay, you guys have the Trader TV from default, and I think you have like a watch list, and I think you also have like a quick chart or something like that. Again, I forget what the default is. It's been so long, but if you do, I just completely remove that by then clicking this, or there should be like an X button or the gear button maybe. Oh, there you go. Yeah, this gear button right here. And you can go ahead and delete that quick chart. I think it's useless. You don't really need to go through that. But the main thing how I have it is I have the Trader TV here, or I have the news here, and I have my watch lists here. Okay. The Trader TV is very self-explanatory. You click play, you play CNBC. Of course, by the way, when you click this tab, I think by default to it leaves it at Futures Now or TD Ameritrade Network. Yeah, you want to watch CNBC US. Okay. You don't want to watch anything else. Of course, you know, for news, this is just pretty much all the news. By clicking a ticker here, you can type in, you know, Apple or whatnot, you know, and then click, and then you have all the Apple news here. Okay. I know my charts changed simultaneously. I'll teach you guys how to do that in a bit, but let me go over the watch list first. The watch list, right? You guys should have it as somewhere as, I don't know, maybe like a public, maybe something like this or something. The watch is very helpful if you're having different scanners set across the board, so you can, you know, maneuver in and out. For me, my personals, I have Chemo's Equity Finder, I have Chemo's Low Supply Scanner, I have Option Scanner, you know, yada yada yada. I have these presets saved, so I pretty much always look through this throughout the market session. Okay, because it really tells you, right? Look, if I click the volume, tells me the largest volume throughout the day, which is obviously what I'm looking for, which is Apple, right? Huge volume in Apple, which I'm not surprised. If you look at percent change, okay, you can click on that. It'll already, you know, just by default, just change everything, you know, by whatever your order you're looking for. Now, the watch list, though, it might get a little confusing for the people newer. You don't necessarily need it, but of course, you know, play around with it because they already have a lot of default I guess you could say like watch list lookers and whatnot and scanners that you can kind of go through. So like public, right? Throughout the day, you can look at percent change gainers, percent change losers, 24-hour trading, you know, commission-free ETFs, yada, yada, yada. You know, they have a bunch of stuff here you can look at. Okay. NYSCs, you know, Russell 1000, Russell 2000, right? You know, if you want to only trade small caps, right? Micro caps, right? They have all that here. And all you gotta do is click. right? And it'll show you what's popping, right? Of course, what I like to do every morning too, I go this lovers and losers, right? I go look at pre-market movers. That's why you guys can hear sometimes I'll be like, oh, hey, there's a lot of volume in, well, of course, I'll click the volume first, right? If I click the volume, it'll show me there's a lot of volume in DJI, that's Dow Jones, obviously Apple, but like GRTX right here, small cap, right? 290 plus 27% change, a lot of volume there. So that's pretty much how I kind of go through my pre-markets. Just kind of quick scan. All right. It's not going to hurt you. If anything, it'll help you. And there's a lot of powerful tools here, right? You can go to like pre-market, or post-market mover, sorry. You can go to analyst upgrades, analyst downgrades. Okay. You can look at everything that kind of dictates what the market is going to be doing pre-market or during the market hours. Of course, when market is live, all of these numbers are changing, right? Don't get too overwhelmed. It's just numbers changing because the stock is, fluctuating up and down. But of course, this is very powerful tools where you guys should, start getting comfortable with, top 10%, NASDAQ, top 10% gainers, losers, etc. And of course, you can always create your watch list. Like I said, we did before. I will walk you through that in a bit. For now, let me just go through everything first so we can kind of talk about this page. Next, right, of course, is I want to talk about how I change the charts and all these tickers simultaneously. So here's a nice trick on this. I guess you could say what paperclip link or whatnot. It should be all unlinked right now. Okay. How I have it set up is that, you can choose any of these numbers as you please. For me, I just set it to 9. I don't know why, lilac sounds nice. Number 9 sounds nice. The purple look nice. So I click 9. I also, like I said, with the news, I set this to 9 as well. Also with my watch list, I set this paperclip link to 9 as well. So if I were to click, if I'm looking at SO and I want to trade SO, I see a lot, or let's just say, sorry, ADGI, I got a lot of volume looking at this analyst downgrade. I might potentially trade it. I'm wondering if there's news behind it to back off or to back up what's going on. I'll just click it. My charts change here, larger time frame. I'm on the daily, and my news change as well. So I can quickly scan through this, right? It's very helpful. I'm looking at this now. It's like, okay, what the hell is going down? Going on. It's down 12%. I'm looking at this. Okay, Morgan Stanley downgrades. 9:46 a.m. Right? Okay, fair enough. Boom. You know the reason. You know why it's going down. Potential trade, yes, if you wanted to scalp it to the downside. But the main source is just that you can kind of maneuver through this very quickly, right? And at the same time, you don't have to click on the watch list here. You can type anything. Let's say Boeing, type in BA, okay? BA pulls here, BA pulls there, very quickly, right? AMD, okay, SPY, okay, everything goes through. And you can't see it, but my other monitor, I have everything set to 9 as well. So I have my 1-minute chart, I have my 15-minute chart, and I have, another chart that everything just changes all together simultaneously. So I don't have to type in Apple here, type in Apple there, type in Apple on my other charts just to see what's going on and to get through it, right? It's very simple, very quick, easy, very helpful if you're a quick scalper and you want to like, oh, what the fuck is going on? What's moving? And you see something popping off, like, when I mentioned like, like GRTX or something, right? Like it did. And then, you click it once, you type it once, everything changes once. You probably saved yourself like 45 seconds. Where we see it as a scalper, 45 seconds, holy shit, you can make a lot of money. Okay, so this is a very good tip or trick that a lot of people don't use. But you guys should definitely add that to your charts. Now I'm going through the actual gear icons on the actual charts now. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about how to change the perspective or the time frame of the charts. Okay, for the active trader chart right here, your chart should look something like this now, right, guys? If I told you, just remove the 4 boxes, the other boxes, by clicking this on the top right hand corner. Okay, click on the daily, right? It starts with a D. Yours might be with a 5 or 1 because I don't know what default setting is. But if you click that, you have all of these favorites. By default, you only have about like 4 or 5, but you can always customize your list by clicking this. And then you can add different time frames, however you please. It's very self-explanatory. I'm not going to dive into doing it too much. I mean, you guys should be able to walk yourself through that. But of course, if you want to quickly change to it, let's say 5-day 5-minute, you can look through that, click on the 30-day 30-minute, right? Zoom in, click on that. You want to go back to the, the 184 hour, go ahead and do that as well. Like I said, I keep this on the 1 year, 1 day, but that's just my style. But that's how you quickly maneuver and look into, different time frames if you're looking at this chart. Okay. Now for the gear icon itself, if you guys click this, I think by default your show price subgraph might not be unticked. You can go ahead and tick that. The overlap volume 2 should be ticked. I have it unticked because I like it separated, and because the script that we have in the Discord, the volume average, it kind of breaks down the buyers and the sellers. I like that. It's more pretty to my eyes. It's easier for me to kind of look at instead of I think it's like light blue bars like by default. Yeah, I don't like that, so I untick it. So I have it like this right here. If you look at the volume, let me go into a smaller time frame so it's easier. All right, so if you look at this volume right here, I like it green and blue. Green and red. Kind of shows you and dictates, for this candle, how many buyers and sellers. By default, it's just blue. Yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, going back into this, like I said, you can do what you want, play around with it. But the purpose of this is that I just I unticked it so I have it separated on all my charts. Okay. Going through this price axes, this expansion area, I think by default is 0. You can change by increasing it. I kept it at 5. And what happens for the price axes is that it dictates how far the top and the bottom of your price is and how much it can show in your chart. So you can play around with it. If we go to like right now it's at 5, right? Let's go to like 25 top, 25 down. Okay. You see how the chart kind of squeezed in further, right? As in it got pinched. It got pinched towards, it was right now it's like this, but earlier it was like this, right? That's giving you space up here, the larger the number, just so you can kind of look at the charts. For me, I think 5 is good. I don't want it too pinched. If it's too pinched, I can't really see what the hell is going on, right? So going back in there, right? Price axes, I just keep it at 5. 5 is a nice number. Press OK, and it kind of expands out a little bit more. All right. Yeah, so save your questions for the end. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of walk through everything first, and then after that we can go through your questions. But going back into this price axes as well, play around with that, see what you like. Have these fit orders and whatnot set like this as well. I don't know what default is. I'm sorry. I take the fit orders, I take the fit studies, and I take the fit study markers. Patterns and whatnot. No, I don't need. I'm gonna see it anyways as I zoom out or as I do my own charting. Okay. Now going into the time axes. This one, not really much you can do or not really much you want to do here except the expansion area. Like I said before, I kept mine to 10. I think right now it's at 0. And just like the price axes, instead of doing it from the top and bottom, it's going to be from the right side. Okay, what I mean by that is right now it's at 10. Let me go zoom back out on the yearly time frame. You see this area where it's like some space here. That's 10 expansion points, whatever it is. And let me just make it larger so you can kind of see too. So I made it like 100. No, that might be too much. I do like 65. Press OK, and you see this huge gap now, right? So as this is trading live, right, obviously it's going to stop right here. This is going to be where that pointer is instead of all the way up here. But yeah, like I said, it's up to you how you guys like to visually look at it. For me, I keep it at 10. I think it's good enough. It's okay. It's right here. It's a little space so I can kind of see, predict it a little bit. But yeah, going back, time axes, anything else? Show rollover lines, expiration Fridays. Yeah, I have all these ticks. I'm not sure if you guys don't have it, but I just keep these all ticks. Favorite time frames, you could ignore this. Obviously, like I said, it's the quick shortcut by clicking the D or 1 or whatever you guys have set right here, and you can maneuver in through here very quickly just by clicking, right? And of course, you can customize your list to add more, like I did. 5-year max. Okay, there's a 5-year chart of GRTX. Let's get off of GRTX. Let's use something that's we're all looking at, and we're all trade or something like NVIDIA or something. Okay. One day. Okay, now we're going to the next tab, appearance. Okay, now my platform might look a little different. The only reason why is because I actually customize the colors. Shit, man, I'm looking at charts I don't know, more than 6, 7 hours a day. So I made it as color pleasing as possible for me to kind of sit down and look at charts. By default, I think you guys should have the green and red, right? I think you also have everything filled. If your charts look like this, this is all personal preference. Again, just like everything we're going through right now, it's up to you if you like to see the candlesticks like this. For me, I keep it like that just because it gives me it's just easier on my eyes. Okay, I mean, think about 6:30 in the morning because I'm on the West Coast. I'm looking at fucking bright ass green and bright ass red is a little too much for me. So I have this unticked, the preset color and all that stuff. Like I said, I have everything customized. This is not the place to where I customize that, but play around with this. This is just all personal preference, has nothing to do with trading. It's just how you guys look at your charts. Equities, here's the important part. So this is what you guys need to look at. I think from time to time, there is no shortcut from here. You would have to, some people, they like to use pre-market and post-market hour data, right, to do their charting and whatnot. For me, I keep it off sometimes, but again, like I said, sometimes when I'm looking at it, I like to keep it on as well. We're on the equities because equities means we're looking at the stock ticker chart. Okay, if you're looking at options and futures and whatnot, you're looking at the actual contracts and whatnot, so you don't have to worry about that. For the equities, this is the main button right here. Okay, when you show extended hours trading, what I mean by that, now it's ticked. If I'm looking at it on a like 5-day, 15-minute chart, the gray shaded area is obviously here. Let me go and zoom in here. Okay. This is your post market and this is your pre-market. I should have done that. Post. Okay. This line, dotted line, you guys, I think that this is by default as well. Just shows you the breakdown of when post-market trade ends, and then there's when the pre-market traders, begin. Okay. But that's what you can kind of look at. Again, it's all personal preference of how you trade and how you chart. See, if I zoom back out by double clicking, right? Some people, they like to draw trend lines, right? Add drawings and whatnot using pre-market data. Okay. For me, most of the time I keep this chart, like I told you guys, on the 1 year, 1 day, where obviously it does not show the post and pre-market hours. But most of the time I just keep it off anyways, right? Okay. So of course, options, you don't have to worry about it. Your chart and your ticker should like this. Futures, if you want to look like this as well. Forex, yeah, I don't touch it. But this is just your generalized settings. Okay. Now, of course, everything is recorded, guys. So if you guys want to go back into the video when I share it later, you can go ahead and do that as well. But after that, I want to start talking about where is this? This studies right over here. This tab right here. This tab right here. Okay, so you guys should see studies tab. That's not changed by default. You should already see it there. Click on studies by left clicking. Okay, and you can look at quick studies. You can look at add studies. The main thing what I do is I just ignore all this. I just click edit studies right away. Okay, and you have a full goddamn list of so many studies. When Thinkorswim has it as studies, but it's the same shit as indicators. All right, you have the EMA, SMA, you have everything over here that you guys can use. Okay, there's a ton of tools here that Robinhood doesn't even have, and all these other platforms don't. Of course, this is all kind of dictated how you tweak a strategy and what you guys use. For me, like I said, if you wanted to add, a study, right? A lot of people use like the EMA, right? Exponential moving average, right? So moving average exponential. All I gotta do is double click, and you have your moving exponential right here. Now it's already defaulted by 9, I believe. Okay, that's your 9-day moving average. What you want to do if you want to, let's just say, switch up your strategy, change, you don't want to see the 9, is you just click the gear icon to the right. You should have another tab that pops up, and you can go through and look through each of this and how you want to see it. So for this particular example, I think default is green or something, the color, but you can change the color. You can change the width of the line. You can change the style as well. Dotted lines, solid lines, the draw as, right? You can change all of this. Now go through the plots and whatnot. If you want to see the length and whatnot, all you got to do is change the 9 to like a 200, right? If you're looking for the 200 EMA, okay? Obviously your show plot should be ticked, okay? for the EMA, I know there's nothing here, but you can look to the up signal and down signals, right? You can look at the different plots. Some plots, for me, like you guys remember my Bollinger Band video, I untick it, right? Meaning I don't want it to see on my charts because I think it's useless to me. I don't want to clog up my charts and then just be like useless data for me, right? But from there, you can, mess with it, press OK. You can click OK one more time. And now you have this teal line, which is your 200 EMA. Now, going back into that same studies tab, right? Again, studies, edit studies, right away. If you, let's just say you want to move in, you want to add another one, you can go ahead and type in another one. Exponential moving average, type that in, double tick, right? You can add as many as you want. Okay, for this one, let's just say you want to make it to 50. Now, because it's, you're just going to get clogged with so many lines, as I say, okay, I don't want it to have teal, right? I want it to be like purple now, right? And you can press OK. And then for the next line that you want to have, you want to see the 21, okay? But you want to see teal or purple now. You want to see a different color, right? I don't know, yellow or something, right? Press OK, right? After you press OK again, press OK. Now you have all of these lines that come up here, okay? So now you should know, after ton of progress and whatnot, and just, just looking at charts, that how you set it is your yellow is your 21, your purple is your 50, and your teal is your 200 moving day average, right? And a lot of people use a golden cross strategy and whatnot, and they look at these certain, crossovers, right, to give you some more data to how you want to take a particular trade. Or if, some people like to, I don't want to talk into strategies, but how some people like to, when it breaks down below the line, it's bearish, right? The top is bullish, whatever. But of course, you can play around with the strategy and what you guys like to add on your charts. I'm only using EMAs because it's the most simple. It's what everybody looks at, what everybody uses. But of course, if you go back in here, keep clicking the gear icon, go back to studies, click edit studies. There is a ton of indicators, studies you can use, right? You can also add other ones like the ones that are, on the bottom, like the MACD is very popular, right? MACD, double click. Let's add what's another one, like the RSI, right? Everyone uses fucking RSI ads, and if you double click it, it automatically goes there. Let's just say you wanted to kind of change the direction of how you look at it on your charts. You can click this and move it up so that the RSI is before the MACD. Or if you like the MACD before the RSI, you can click that and move it up there, right? Or if you like the volume all the way to the bottom, you can move the volume all the way to the bottom too. Whatever it is your preference is, all you gotta do is that, press OK, right? And you have everything up here showing, okay? But I'm going to move this back there. I'm going to remove all of this stuff. Oh, actually, I'm not going to remove it. Oops, fuck, I just did. Well, let's just say you want to save this setup right here, okay? You have the 9, oh yeah, sorry, you have the 21, 50, and 200 EMA. Okay, you want to save it as a set because you like those settings, you like those colors, you like those lines, whatever it is. You can save set, click that, and you could type in whatever you want to save it as. Let's just say test ICC. Okay, click save, click OK. Now, if you go back to your studies tab icon and you go to the load study set, you're going to see what you saved it as, which is test ICC. Okay, if I go back to like my Bollinger finisher chart, right? This whole thing pops up the way I want it. Okay. Now, if I want to go back to what we just did, right, the test ICC, what we saved, because I'm looking for the 2150 and the 100. Oh, sorry, the 2150 and the 200. Go ahead and click that load study set, click test ICC, and what you saved as, everything's there, is onto your platform. So just a quick tangent, what I do, right, and obviously I have a lot of load sets and whatnot. When I'm charting, I keep it as clean chart subcats, and I'll move all of this down. Let's use another chart where I did more like, like Boeing or something. Okay, do my analysis, do my price levels, my supports and resistance. Quick tangent, okay, guys. I do my charts very cleanly, right? Because I don't care about so many lines and all that shit. I wanna look at what the price action is telling me, all the trend lines. I'll draw, lines and whatnot. Right click, add drawing, trend line, whatever it is. And I just want to look at what I'm seeing first. Now from there, okay, I'll go and look into my different loaded study sets. Now I can add like, the 2150, 100, and 200 SMA. I'll click that. I'll move my other parameters down, and I just kind of glance at what the EMAs or what the SMAs are doing right now. Right. Obviously, all the lower SMAs are below the 200, meaning that's bearish, right? Meaning, Boeing is actually in a downtrend, right? Which it's very obvious if you chart it. not looking at it, but just kind of gives you more insight on what you want to do, because some people, they like to trade the strategy of potentially catching a crossover from like the 21 to 50 or the 50 to the 100 or the 100 to the 200. Okay, because those are very bullish signs, right? And of course, if you click and you add different loaded charts, right? Elliott zigzags, right? I have that saved as well. I look and I do my wave counts here, right? What else is there? Right. I look at Bollinger Finisher, right? You know that. My Ichimoku, right? I have this set as saved as well. Okay. I'll see if the Teku, whatever crap, is crossing over, or getting into a bubble, right? So meaning if I'm going to take the trade or I'm not going to take the trade. But like I said, you can save all of these presets like you do, so that it's very easy for you to chart on when you do top-down analysis, right? A larger time frame, break it down to 4 hour now, break it down to the 30-minute, right? And you go into 5-day, 15-minute, whatever it is. Okay. But that's just to very help you kind of grasp and see from multiple strategies, multiple ways of how you like to trade, and what's worked for you, right? You don't want to, for me, you don't want to add every fucking strategy out there because you don't know how to trade it. You're not used to it yet, but you want to add the ones that actually work in your favor. Let's just say you back tested it and you're like, okay, I'm thinking that this stock is going to go this way. And it does because of yada, 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 your thesis based off yada, yada, yada strategy. It worked. So you can save that preset here. Like I said, whatever you have, save study set, name it, whatever you want, blah, 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 and it's saved. Okay. And then you're going to have that here. So you can always load it back up, right? If I'm looking at it like, okay, now I just want to go, I'm charting a completely new ticker now. I just wanted to go look at clean charts, right? So I just click the clean charts subcats and I just have this move down. Let's say I'm going to go to like Apple now, right? AAPL, and everything switches together simultaneously. Fucking awesome. And then you're charting Apple now. You want to 1 year, 1 day. Okay. You want to draw your resistance and whatnot, your supports. And you can do that. Okay, so that's a big bonus, a big plus. Now, going into the actual drawings now, guys. Now I'm gonna go and find a clean chart that I don't even really trade or look at. Maybe V. No, I haven't traded this shit in a long time, but yeah, like Verizon, right? Oh, not Verizon, fucking Visa. I'm gonna remove by right clicking, and I'm gonna click remove drawing. And I'm gonna remove all this. Now to actually draw on your charts and whatnot, okay? I know by default, I think if you set your support and level resistance by add drawing and then trend line, or sorry, no, it's a right click, add drawing, and then price level. It's not going to be like what I am. I think it's like one solid red line, okay? What you need to do is you can right click when you have that red line on your charts, okay? Click edit properties. Now you're gonna have all this come up. So same thing like the studies, indicators, the price axes, time axes, you're just going to set it how you like to. For me, I have, well, of course, by default, it's gonna be like this, right? Red, style, solid, some sorts of like this, right, guys? For me, I kept it, like I said, or like I showed you guys, keep it as I think it's this yellow. I changed my style to the dotted. My width is 1, it's fine with me. Left extension is off. Right extension is on, right? What that means is left extension is right here. From wherever I marked my charts is off because I ticked it from here. The right extension is on, right? So it extends out all the way. By default, this should be on. This should be on. I think this should be do not show still too. Show price should be off too as well, I think. But you can adjust that the way you like. Some people like the red line, the red solid line, it doesn't matter. It's whatever your preference is. But for me, I keep it like this: off, on, do not show, show price on the right. You can choose, on the left, do not show, whatever it is that pleases you. But from there, all you have to do is you have to click this, save as default. Very important, save as default. So every time you mark your price levels, you will have it like that. Okay, press OK after, right? So, ever since you do that, right click price level, boom, click, boom, nice, potential support right here, bottoming. If it ever came down here, I want to be notified, right? You look at that, draw your lines, very simple. Now do the exact same thing for trend lines, right click, add drawing. Let's say you want to draw a trend line. I think by default, it's red solid. Okay. For me, I kept that as purple. I don't know. For some reason, I'm like into purple. Like, my 9, the lilac, whatever is purple. Oh, the purple seems very, very pleasing to my eyes. So edit properties. My trend line is, purple. Click the purple. And of course you can, oh, by the way, you can click more. Okay. You can add all these different freaking colors here. Okay. You can get very creative here. So if the people that have like OCD and, whatnot, this works for you. Okay. But yeah, for me, keep it purple, change my style to, solid dotted, right? I changed my width to 2 this one. Okay. Just because I want to see that the trend lines are very important to me. I want to make sure I'm actually looking at the trend lines as I'm looking at it on a smaller time frame in case I miss it. Okay. I think it's very important for me. Arrow type, you can change this as well. What I mean by that, if you add the right arrow, you see that little right arrow start to appear right here. That's a bad example because the price is in the way, but here, let's just say I wanted to do the left arrow, which I don't know why anyone would, but I guess to mark the downtrend. So there's a downtrend right here. The little back arrow is going to be, the tail end is going to be there. For me, I don't really need it. So I keep it as none. Label position left, no long. Yeah, and again, like I said, save as default, very important if you want to change things around so you don't have to keep doing it every single time. So if I draw like another trend line, right? Like let's just say, I don't know, from here to here or something. Okay, draw like this. All I do is click, right click, draw, boom, boom, boom. Everything's set by default. Of course, like I said, play around with it. You can change the colors, you can change the arrows, you can change whatever you want to. Everything is very customizable, which is very nice about Thinkorswim, and it's free, right? By removing it, right click, remove drawing, right click, remove drawing, right click, remove drawing, etc. Okay. Next thing here is you can go through all of this. That was trend line, that was price level. There's text as well. You can text note when you guys see sometimes I'll be like, unfilled gap or something, right? Like I always do, and I always keep that there. So same exact method, right? If you want to change it, you right click, edit properties, choose the font if you like to change it, text note, whatever, size by default, color, yellow, then save as default. Okay. Like I said, I spent a lot of time doing this, so I changed the font, I changed everything to my liking. I probably spent like maybe a whole day customizing how I did my layout. But that's what you need to do. And you can just do it once. Once you do it once, everything should be saved. As soon as you log back in, everything should be there. You don't have to really worry about it. Remove drawing. But yeah, going into it, details. Now all of these oval squares, Andrew's pitchforks and whatnot, everything's the same concept. Okay, like I said, when I usually draw my gaps and whatnot, I like to use a rectangular box. Again, with the rectangular box, I think it's gray by default. If you want to change the color to blue, or you want to follow me, or you could change whatever color you want. You have a whole color palette here, man. You can choose whatever you like to, okay? But that's how I have it set. Again, right click to remove, left click to, do that as well. And that should be a good portion of, just doing the drawings. Oh, this is a good one too. I think when I tell you guys to set alerts and whatnot on your charts, when I say like, for Verizon, for Visa, like long above 214, 215, set your price alerts, right? Right click, create alert. I think this by default should be exactly this. But if not, you can change it. So mark, meaning the price is above whatever you right clicked on. You can obviously you can adjust it, right? If you're OCD. But I just need a general gauge of where it is. Press create, and you should have this mark set. What this does is that it notifies you on your phone. It notifies you if you're trading live, and this passes above it. You get a message pop up here on the top right or top left or whatnot, and it'll be like, oh, Visa is above 214.10, and you can be, oh shit, that could be a potential. Click on V, have everything switch, right? Like, if say you were trading Apple and you're like, you got that message, oh shit, something happened with V. Click V, everything changes to Verizon. You're looking at it, you're like, what the hell is happening? Could be nothing, could be something, but it's going to help you. Okay, and of course you can change it too. Let's just say you want to be short below 190, right? Create alert. Instead of at or above, you want to make sure it's at or below. Okay, create alert. Boom, simple as that. let's take a little break there. Do you guys have any questions on when I went over so far?
All right, I'll jump on it. Show patterns. Yours is obviously unchecked. Do you use that at all?
No, I do not. I think by that it's when they have show patterns, they have their automated patterns where it's very faulty. It actually doesn't work. I just keep that
Yeah, it
unticked.
looks ugly.
Yeah, I keep that unticked because I draw my own patterns. I do all the charting on my own. But yeah, you shouldn't use what they have because if it was that easy, everybody would use it.
What are your green and red arrows on this?
Oh, so that is my TTM scalper. That is also a study here you can add. Go and edit studies. So my TTM scalper. For this one, I only have just to have as a reference point. Do not use this because it's a lagging indicator. What that means is these arrows don't actually appear until maybe like this candle. Okay, this arrow doesn't actually appear until like after this candle. Does that make sense, guys? So that's all there just to kind of gauge, because sometimes sometimes I'll look at this, just where you're on Verizon right now. It'll be trading right here. Okay. And then let's say I'm like, okay, I see this red arrow. It doesn't tell me, it should reverse back up, right? Or it should go back down, but it kind of gauges and tells me that, okay, the software is telling me that we have selling pressure here, very strong selling pressure. So I'm probably going to stay away from getting calls up here. Of course, that's just one indicator. It doesn't work on alone. It doesn't work on itself alone. But sometimes I use it as, okay, we're going on a quick tangent, but sometimes I use this in conjunction with, like, let's just say a stochastic slow crossover. Let me go zoom back out. If I look at so I see this up arrow so here, perfect example, actually. See this up arrow form right here, right? Okay. Right. I'm using in conjunction with my other, indicators and whatnot. Now see the stochastic slow, how the slower one crossed the faster one the next day, or if not the day after, right? Very quickly, very soon. Like I see that crossover imminent, about to happen after I see that green arrow. So that tells me, okay, hey, fuck, man, we're already in oversold conditions, right? We have, 1 signal, 2 signal, 3 signal that shows me that, hey, this might be a good time to get into calls or buy this to the upside, because it might be a little oversold, right? So that's kind of how I use it. If you use it alone, right, ignoring all the other indicators and just looking at this buy signal, this does not, or this would have appeared, but when this green candle kind of starts happening. So you can look at it from many different perspectives, right? One, like I said, if you're looking at the imminent crossover, oversold, and then this appears, you'll know that buying it to the upside in the short term is high probability. Okay. Yeah, moving forward. How about your script? Or let me scroll up really quick. How did you get it to change colors? The volume. Okay, so that's a script. So I'll kill 2 questions with one. You might get, there's an additional chart you can add. How about your scripts? Okay, for scripts, if you go back to the Discord, go to resources. Okay, scroll all the way back up, because a lot of people don't actually look at past. They have the script right here, right? It shows you right here. This is the link that you need to click on. You can't see it, but a link should appear. It appeared on my other monitor. Look through that. There is something where you can click on that says to open manually. To open manually, then you're gonna see. Let me just try and share this in. So this is what pops up. Okay. It's gonna pop up from here. Scroll down, click to open manually. Click this. Okay, it gives you the instructions right here. Very easy. Click to copy. Okay, or you can right click, whatever it is you want. Open Thinkorswim. Go to setup, open shared item, and then paste link. Okay, so just going back into the platform itself. So obviously you have it copied right now. Okay. Now you go to setup, top right. Okay. Open shared item. Okay. And you paste it here. Okay. Whatever that link was. paste it here. I already have it, but paste it there, press OK, press import. As soon as you press import, it's going to ask you, what do you want to save it as in the name. You can rename it to whatever you want. Okay, for this one, you can be like, green, red, volume average, whatever it is. Okay, and then press OK, press import. I mean, as soon as you have it there, you go back into your studies tab, edit studies, whatever name you saved it as for the script. For me, it's just volume average code, I think, like this, or average final code. Right, just double click it. It's going to appear either in your lower or in your volume directly. If it's on your lower, I want you to move it up into your volume, right here, component right here, move it there, and then just press OK. For the pre-market highs and pre-market lows in the previous days, it's all the same. When creating a study, like how can you add one to show PDC? So same concept, Daniel. Go back into your Discord. Go back into the Discord, I mean. Resources, scroll back down. And here's a video too that I recorded back in the day that you can look at. Previous days is closes right here. Okay, when I click on it, it's literally the same exact link that appears in a browser, like I showed you guys earlier. So this is the previous day's close. You see right here. Okay, open manually, click, copy, paste, open shared SATM, paste link. For previous days setup, like I said, with the other ones with the customizations, I kept it as white line by default because that's what I use. Let me show it to you actually on a different screen so you guys can see it. This might be a little easier. Oops. This. So my white line's my previous day's close. Okay, by default setting, and if you want to change it, you just right click it, edit study, change whatever you want here. Okay. I kept that as white because it's easy for me, right? White line, previous day's close. For pre-market highs and pre-market lows, the default is, yes, red is pre-market low, very obvious, very clean. Green is pre-market high. So same concept. However, for this one, when you guys add the pre-market highs and pre-market lows, I want you guys to make sure that you click edit study, and there's going to be this kind of numerical SMA that kind of appears here. I don't know why, but I tried to take that off into the script, but I had troubles doing so. So I just saved it by default and then have it show. But I never use it though. So I untick it, I unclick it. So it does not show the plot for the overnight high, width, straight line, green, show plot. Overnight low, which is pre-market low, same thing. Right, and I just press OK or apply, whatever it is, and it's going to be shown like this. If you have it if you set it up the way it is, and you just have it, if you have it appear with that blue line, ICC pre-market high, pre-market low, yeah, it's going to show this on your ticker, on your charts. It's very ugly. I fucking hate that shit. Like it's just very.
Hey, Chemo, we can't see what you're doing.
Oh, you can't see this?
With the settings, yeah.
Yeah, that setting
shit.
window was invisible.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Fuck. Okay, let me go back. So going into let me okay. Well, you guys catch it just right. Let me go back into the other chart just to show you. It might be a little easier. So this is my entire screen. Let me just change this back real quick and do this. So I did save this, I think, as a day trade complete. Hopefully, fuck, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay, let me mess with this really quick. This. Boom. Okay. So this, make it clean so you can show that. Okay, so yeah, with the SMA, whatever line that you're gonna have it, it's gonna look like this as you guys are training. Okay, let me turn on this. Okay, so now you can see it is extended hours. Okay, so throughout the market day, you're going to see it like this. The green line, pre-market high, red line, pre-market low, white line, previous day's close. Again, I click on studies, edit studies after you imported it. Remember, after you imported it, go into, for me, I saved it as, or actually, I'm not sure if it's default, but ICC, pre-market high, pre-market low. Click on the gear icon again, unclick that show plot. Okay, I don't like it, you know. It's useless. So it's very nice and clean. So that's how you have it set on the charts. I'll get to the detaching part in a bit. I just want to make sure I get over what I covered so far. And setting up EMA, I see close 20 to 0 was a 0.4. Let's see. SMA or EMA? Okay, exponential. Oh, you don't have to worry about that, man. Don't worry about that. You just want to load the length because that's the data you're actually using. Okay. So just ignore that. Leave it as what it is on default. Don't even touch that setting. But let's stay on track with this stuff though. If everyone has the how to add scripts and whatnot set, let me know if you have any troubles. If not, we'll move on to the detaching. So now that we have everything on the active trader tab right here, okay, guys, the next thing is I want you guys to know is that I don't really, like I said, I don't trade through here or here. I'm so sorry. Let me go back, make this a little more clearer. So when you go in your trade tab, right, and your all products, and let's just say you want to take an actual trade, okay, the most beginner, the basic ways of what people do here for trading options is, you know, this is already expired, so we'll go to 17th. They're literally left click the ask. You have a, you know, pop up here appear on the bottom, and this is going to pretty much tell you what you're doing. Right, your single spread you're buying a naked call, buy 5 contracts. Okay, what you're buying, expiration date, the strike price, the call or the type, right, call or put, the price, and then how your order is. And this is great because Robinhood, I don't think has it. This trailing stop, you know, trail stop, stop limit, all this stuff that you can actually use. By default, it should stick to limit. Again, excuse me. I'm not going to go over what each is, but, you know, by default is limit, meaning you setting the price of what you want to buy it as. And for the day, confirm and send, click, you know, think and then another, you know, whatever pop-up is going to appear. It's going to give you all the data that you're looking at. Break even stock price, 472.75, max profit, infinite. You're buying a naked call. If this goes to infinity, obviously that's your max profit. Max loss, 875, because that's the cost of how much you're buying 5 contracts at this expiration at the 471 strike is. Okay. And then that's just pretty much all your data. And after that, just click send if you like the order. And this is the most basic way, and it's actually not very efficient. All right. And again, the same exact way if you wanted to sell, right? Let's say you want to sell. You can click the sell, you can click on the same ticker, same contract that you're having, or you go into monitor tab. And this is your filled orders here, or this is my fucking trades for the day, right? But ignore all that shit. But if let's just say you bought and you had, let's say you bought, right? And ignore all of this. Okay, you have one order of what you just bought, you know, at this time, blah, 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 and whatnot. All you got to do is right click that. All right. Oh shit. Well, my order is not live, so I can't really show you, but you can right click it. It should say close order. Or whatnot, whatever it has. And then that same exact bar is going to appear, but now it's going to say sell, right? Not to buy, because you already own 5 contracts. Now it shows sell. So let's say you want to make a profit. It was at 175 that we bought, and you're trying to sell it at 185. You can click 185 at a limit order, confirm and send. If it goes to 185, you will get filled and just to sell 5 contracts that you own. Okay. Again, this is the most inefficient way for a day trader, for a scalper. If you're a swing trader, if you're not really looking at the price too often, which I don't know why no one would, you know, you can use this method, but this is what most of the beginners do. People that, you know, don't have, you know, the time of day, or, you know, looking at different monitors or different computers to actually, you know, execute their trades, is how they're going to initiate a position or initiate out of a position. But of course, that's pretty much what you're going to be looking at. So the trade tab, just to kind of quickly review, trade tab, all products is going to be your option chain. Everything that you look here by default, it should be like 4, right? And all of these should be closed or something like that, right? Then you can like, expand them. For me, I keep it at 14. Okay. Layouts, customize it on your own, what you want to look at. Okay. Active trader tab. This could be somewhere where you look at always on the 1 year time, 1 year day chart, right? Just to kind of gauge, see what the broader market is doing. And that's pretty much all you're going to use on this tab. The monitor tab is where all your orders is, right? You want to look at what you're doing at the end of the day, throughout the day, the time, the fills, whatever it is. Okay, you can look at account statement. You can fucking ignore Forex reports, strategy roll. You can ignore as well. Now, the detachable charts and whatnot. Holy shit! Actually, there's a lot to go over. The detachable charts, very simple, and it's what I'm going to show you right now. Is the exact same active trader tab where we are right now. Go back to that tab, left click on what we saw again, and this time again we're going to expand it to for me, I have it for my active trader, I'm gonna have it at 4. Okay, you can click 4 and all these 4 is going to appear. Now from this perspective, you should have this set to 9 already. Okay, you should have all this like whatever, probably empty. If not empty, go ahead and click what's in there, click delete or backspace and then press enter, click delete backspace and press enter, click delete backspace and enter. Then you're going to right click or just left click it again. And you're going to see, oh, that's not here. Where is it? Oh, here you go. The one next to the tab window. Okay, you're going to see detach. Okay, you're going to detach. Then you have this entire window to be able to drag wherever you want. If you have 2 monitors, 3 monitors, if you want to expand it elsewhere into a vertical monitor, right? Whatever it is, you can do. However, from here, how I have it set as a day trader, okay, which is pretty much what you guys saw earlier, is I have my, let me see if I go, so on this chart, I'm just gonna go over it first. Is I'll go to my 1 day, 1 minute, right? And that's what I see on the left side. Okay, it's pinched right now because my screen on what I'm showing you is very small, but after that, I'll click my time and sales. Again, I'm not going to go over what time and sales is. This is pretty much the prints, what's the tape. It's what's showing you the buys and the sells and whatnot, and the quantity. The level 2 is what I have as well. Okay. And I also have the news. Okay. So this is where what it shows right here. N is for news. L2 is for level 2. C is for chart. There's also C2, C3 and whatnot, but I don't have that there. Okay. Time and sales, TNS, right? Now, how I have it set up is I also have the same ticker, right? Obviously, by default, it's going to be active trader because that's your active trader. Now, instead of active trader, what I want on my top right, and again, this is strictly how I trade, guys. Okay, you guys can have it on the bottom. If you like looking at from top to bottom instead of left to right, you can have it diagonal if you're weird like that. Okay, you can do whatever you want, but this is pretty much how I have it set up. Is you can unclick that active trader, click the chart tab. Now for this, I'm going to have it on the 5-day 15-minute or the 5-day 5-minute, and that's just how I trade. One thing about this too, guys, is you're gonna have to take a couple hours, maybe not a couple hours, maybe like an hour or so, to make sure you set all these charts the same way you had on that first chart that we had. As in, you need to re-add by clicking studies, edit studies. You need to re-add the volume average. Final, right? Double click. You need to add the ICC pre-market high, pre-market low. What previous day's close, right? Double click, double click, double click. And the fact that you already have it preset and saved there makes it a little easier because you don't have to really adjust it too much. But you just press OK, and now it's back on your charts here. The main purpose though is do not close these windows, because once you close it, you're going to have to reopen them. Okay, what you have to do is when you want to turn off your Thinkorswim platform, all you got to do is click the X button here. Click the X button here and just let everything close together. Okay, because when you log back in, everything's going to reopen the same way and how you had it saved. Okay, but looking back at the detached graph, sorry to go into a quick tangent. But you can do the exact same way for the below. However, for these two windows, how I have it set is I use these as my active traders. Now, there is no quick way to do this. So this is very important to what you need to know. When we had all of our charts connected and synchronized to the number 9, the green, and number 9, the purple, okay, you're gonna, oh, I forgot, you're gonna go ahead and do that for the second graph as well. So if you type in another like Apple, look at this, everything changes together. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit since it shows this, so you can kind of see all that. So imagine you having multiple screens. Okay, there's Apple in the background here. There's Apple here, Apple here, Apple here, Apple News, Apple Time and Sales, Apple L2, Apple News, all that crap, right? And then you want to go and like, you know, you're looking at NVIDIA. Everything changes together. Saves you a whole bunch of time, and it's very convenient, right? You want to trade futures, /ES, everything's there. Okay, but going back up, the unfortunate I guess concept is that they don't have it kind of synchronized. Is for this, for trading options, if you want to trade using active trader, you have to go back into your options chain, which again, trade tab, all products. Okay, let's say you want to trade or they weren't futures, but for a better example, let's go like SPY. And we'll trade SPY. Let's say you want to trade the December 27th 474 calls. Okay, what you have to do from here is you have to right click here, click copy. Okay, you see this copy.spy. It shows the expiration date. C is for call, 474 is the strike. Click that by left clicking after you right click. Go back into your active trader or going back into this chart, and then Control V or Apple Command V, right? And then you're going to have your active trader appear here. So now you notice, right? I'm going to give you guys a quick example. By default, it's going to show you SPY's active trader, meaning if you click this box and you click here to sell, you're actually buying the equity, the common stock. You're not buying the options contract like you show here on the left side from what we copied and pasted. Okay, very important. Okay, so from here in this perspective, when you have both of these active traders tabs on, like I said, make sure you do not close your windows after you have everything set up. Is you want to go back to the gear icon. By default, that should be default actually. So you guys should have no other buttons but buy market, sell market, and whatnot. From this on the right side, from what the pop-up shows, quantity with buttons, you want that. So move up. Auto send on and off, you want that as well. So make sure it's above the second line. I have buy the ask and sell the bid right here as well, but you don't really need it. I only had it because if you trade not liquid options and not liquid stocks, sometimes the market order is not going to work. So you really need to buy the ask. But of course, I stopped trading illiquid options. So it just shit doesn't make sense to me. So just keep it like this, press OK. Now you're going to see what it shows right here. And this is very crucial, right? Do the same thing on the other side first. So you have that. Okay. So quantity, obviously how many contracts you were trading. Okay. 5, 15, 25, 50. You can change these numbers too by customizing it, but this is default. Okay. You can keep default, it's fine. 5 contracts. You want to go to like 3, 2, 1, whatever it is, you can adjust it from right here. So very helpful, very quick. 2 contracts. What this does is if you click here, and you're trading, remember the SPY contracts that we copied and paste. So SPY 100, December 27 expiration, 474 calls. If I fucking click here, right? With this on, if I click here, I don't know, I don't think it'll work, but I'm just in case. If I click here with auto send on, and it gets filled here, you're gonna buy right here. Okay, forget this pop up really quick. Okay, and then if you want to, and this is what scalpers do, this is what day traders do, this is what I do. Okay, and let's just say you're watching, the ticker from the top left chart right now, right? You're 1 day, 1 minute, you're looking at this one, 5 day, 15 minute, whatever it is, and you're just like, oh shit, okay, it's gonna go up, click buys, and then you see it going up, right? This is the fill prices, and just be like, okay, I think it's gonna top, right? And you want to sell, you can just click this button immediately. So you're gonna literally buy 2 contracts, sell 2 contracts. Okay. And of course you can, if you want to get filled immediately, you know, buy market, sell market by just clicking this button. The auto send button is very important. If you have it on and you accidentally click this, let's just say you're not paying attention and you click it and you get filled and you buy or I don't know, whatever happens. Just be diligent when you guys are doing this. So just if you're not thinking about entering a position, untick it. If you untick it, it's the same thing, right? If just say you're trying to time something, there's like 15 contracts, you know, you're wondering how much that's gonna, put a dent in you or in your thing. You're 178, you're thinking of buying, you know, it's gonna cost you $2,677. Okay. And then if you like it, you just press send here too. And then it's again, this is all limit orders. So if it does go to 178, you will get filled. Right. And of course, you can always click this button here. If let's just say it's trading at 187 and you want to sell at $2, you can click $2. And then it's just going to have a sell at $2 limit at $2. So if it does go to $2, you sell. So simple as that. Right. Again, just like this on the right side, it's going to be the exact same thing. The main purpose is if we're trading options, right? You don't want to have SPY here. You want to make sure you delete that shit, go back into your options chain. And sometimes is what I did like today. Okay. I guess today is the perfect example to go over this webinar because of the volatility is I'll have my calls on the left side. I'll right click this one. Let's say I want to trade the 470 puts. Okay. I'll copy and paste it on the right side as well. So now I have my calls and now I have my puts. So if I'm watching, SPY, 1 day, 1 minute here, I'm going to remove this so it's a little more cleaner so you can see. Right. So if you're looking at it from the top left, right, the 1 day, 1 minute, this shit's going to go fast, up and down, up, down. You want to scalp, right? You're thinking that, okay, after this sell off, we might just actually run. This is your calls. You buy here. Okay. And if it goes up, you can sell here. Or let's just say you think it's like topping. So you want to get into puts. You trade the right side. Okay, buy, boom, 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 boom. Magnificent, right, guys? And this is just the example. I'll show you what I actually trade on, right? And then that's oops, wrong one. Shit. Yeah, so this is a little larger screen, so everything is kind of less pinched. Move this crap. So yeah, so in the morning, like it's a quick example for the detached charts. I'll have this right, 1 day, 1 minute, 5 day, 15 minute. This is my calls, my puts. So right now I'm on NVIDIA calls because I was trading that in the morning. But yeah, pretty much. Auto sends on here. You can choose your contracts through here. Same shit. Hell yeah, it's sick, dude. But yeah, next thing is I have another screen which I showed you the same way you guys detach. If you guys have multiple screens, if you have the luxury and whatnot, it's not necessary. But what I did for this on my left side is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different boxes as well. All of them are coordinated, the settings and whatnot, through the same exact method with pre-market high, pre-market low, the previous day's close. Just so I have like my watch list throughout throughout as I'm trading, I can see this on my other screen. Again, this is not it's not mandatory to have and whatnot. It's just sometimes you'll see me like, oh, yada 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 is popping off while I'm looking at a different stock, and you're like, what the fuck? How does this guy know everything? It's because I probably have it here on my watch list, like I'm looking at it anyways. Okay. And of course, my other monitor, like I told you guys, is what we kind of went over already, which is the larger time frame chart. So usually I'll have like this on the daily, right, as I'm trading. So like for SPY, right, I remember I was looking at this to break above. Obviously we closed fucking hella aggressive, but we did hit a level of resistance, which obviously this was all-time highs, guys. So I mean, who knows if we're actually going to break all-time highs and close above it, right? Because we did break it, right, but we did close back down. So selling pressure is very strong here. So going to tomorrow, I mean, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if we sell off down here, right? Or get a little pullback before we actually break maybe next week or something. Because today's fucking strength was goddamn strong, right? Let me see if there's anything else. Do you guys have any questions while I think about other things? I think That's majority of it. Oh, and one more thing I want to share with you guys too. If you're looking at my screen. So the good thing about Thinkorswim, right? TD Ameritrade, using all this tools and whatnot, and all these resources, a watch list, Trader TV, all this adaptation, is you can actually click on this support right here. When market is open and when all this is open, you have live support. You can create a support request and literally you just type whatever the fuck you want, like, hey, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And there's going to be a customer service representative on the other end to respond to you. And you can be like, hey, like, why the hell do I have a, violation of a day trader status when I have over 25K or whatever you want to type, right? Or just be like, hey, I just deposited 50K. Like, can I get this expedited? Like, hurry the fuck up. You can talk to them. You can ask them a lot of shit, or the main thing too, purpose here is what I do sometimes is when you start trading a lot, guys, and you have volume in your trades, meaning you trade more and more, a lot of contracts. That's how these guys get paid, the broker. So they like it when you have high volume. So you can negotiate your options contract. I think by default, it's 65 cents per options contract. And if you look at mine, right, it's not the best. I've seen it before, but there's like, let me see, confirm this. I should be at 50 cents. Yeah, see, so 5 contracts, $2.50. So I'm at 50 cents per contract because I negotiate that. I was like, hey, I trade a lot. Can you lower that shit for me? And sometimes they decline it, but you can reach out to them, every like 90 days and be like, hey, I've been trading, man. Can you lower like 5 cents? And it might not seem like a lot, but in the long run, like shit, like last year I spent like over 15K on commissions. Like just giving the broker 15K. Like that's fucking a lot, man. Ooh, let me scroll up. Does TOS also have a day trade violation for people with under 25K in their trading account? Yes, they do. So here's the thing too with the live support, like I just told you. So they're very lenient, unlike Fidelity, and all the other brokers out there. You can just literally be like, hey, I'm so sorry. I thought I had an extra, day trade left. Can you, refresh my rolling days? And then they're going to be like, oh yeah, we can do it. But please confirm that, you won't do it again. And just be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And then the next day they'll give you another 3. However, you just can't do it like every week. And they're like, what the fuck? So, but from time to time, if you want to do it, like, once every like 2 months or something, like, I've never had an issue with it. I've told everybody in the Discord when I first started this, how to do it, and they did it, and no one else had an issue. With other brokers, different story. They'd be like, nope, you can't trade until like, or they give you like a 3-week ban or something like that, which is ridiculous. What's the limit per day? It's 3. It's the same as everywhere. It's like 3 day trades per 5 rolling day periods. So like if you make 3 day trades today, you can't, you have another 3 like next Wednesday or something like that. Yeah, it's booty. What you can do if you want to sneak account is you can go through and change, instead of margin, you go to cash account. If you go to cash account, as long as your funds clear after your trade set, you can day trade as much as you want. For me, it's the same shit. Well, I don't have to really worry about it, but you know what I mean? So it's small little details, but I guess it's the cost you have to pay for a free platform like this. I just trade with different brokerages. Yeah, you can do that as well. Trade with different brokerages. Down as booty. TOS have good faith violations on cash accounts. You need a margin for immediate settlement. That you probably have to reach out to them. I never had an issue with any good faith violations, and I trade quite a lot even before funds clear. So I want to say yes, maybe. Well, I am on margin, so yeah. Sorry, Nate. I'm not too sure on that though. You best probably reach out to them.
Okay.
Or if you get, yeah. Sorry, man. But yeah, that's a really good tool too. The fucking live support, instead of fucking getting on the phone and calling someone and then waiting like 30 minutes. You can go through that as well. Messages is booty. You really need to know that crap. Oh, let's just go over scanners, all right, really quick, guys. So I have some pre-saved scanners. Like I said, it's pretty much everything that the watch list here on my personal. You can go through it as well. Scanners is what I usually do before. I've been pretty slacked on doing this. I don't really do it, but let's just say like you want to set a particular you know, you want to look at volume, shares, you know, volume. I say volume. There's a bunch of shit that you can add. Let me add a pre-save set for options trader use. Maybe I can't. There you go. So this is my option scanner. Again, you can mess with these parameters. Open interest over 7,000. Obviously, that's why I look. Max, no max, higher the better for me. Volume over 11,000, right? Or sorry, yeah, 11,000 minimum is what I kind of look for. Days to expiration 1 to 32. I am a day trader or short-term swing trader, so I don't need to look at leaps or anything like that. Implied volatility, I keep it at like around 10%. I don't know why it's a 10.64, but it doesn't really matter. Higher volatility, you know, the more juicy, you know, premiums would be, right? And I click scan. So after this would kind of, depending on the day, depending on the time, depending on how your settings are, it might take a while, but it pretty much shows me all of this data and all of what is being opened and what's not. And, you know, you can, again, click on description to kind of filter through it. You can click on, you know, volume. You want to see the highest volume contract that's been traded. We already knew that it was Apple, but let's just say you're looking at open interest, right? You want to see like high open interest, like people that have not closed out their contracts yet. So there's a big one. F 12, 17, 20 calls, over almost 100,000 open interest in that. Okay. Percent change about -2%. So they're pretty much break even, but it kind of gives you an idea, like, you know, holy shit, like what is everybody in? What's everybody bag holding? What's a good potential, right? You know, sometimes you catch like things like, oh shit, 53,000 open interest and it's like already up, most of it is 118%. What is it? Oh, it's Apple. Shit, we know why, you know, it's like that because of the end of day rally, right? But there's some things where you can find that are like, you know, fucking gold. You know, sometimes like Tesla calls like out the money and everybody's like holding it, right? You know, and it could be down like 20%, but it's like because of high open interest and whatnot, it's like, oh shit, maybe someone knows something, right? So this is a scanner you can go through as well. And again, stock hacker is pretty much what you could be looking at. Options hacker is the same shit. I mean, it's just, they just categorize it differently, but you can look through it both the same way you want to. Market watch is a good one as well. You can filter through the earnings, the conference calls, the splits, economic days, ETF, the dividends as well. You can click a dividend, look at like, you know, tomorrow is Thursday. There's 48 dividends being, I guess, released, right? In a way, look at what the tickers are right here on the bottom. Dividend, and you can filter it out. You can remove earnings, make it only dividends, right? And look through all this crap. You can click on a calendar here for, let's just say like next like on the next week or something. Here's 12 on Monday for dividends. Okay, or you want to look at earnings, right? Earnings for next week. Before market open, there's ADXS, BLDE, CCL, CUK, yada, yada, yada. Tuesday, before market is APOG, EDU. What is EDU? See? So, I mean, you know, you can stay at, oh, you know, sorry. Yeah, that's this next week, 21st. Or is that the week after? Oh, no, that's this next week. But yeah, there's EDU, right? After market close. And there's nothing that's popular. Nothing that we trade. But, you know, of course, you know, CarMax, KMX right here, before market open on Wednesday, December 22nd. You know, if you want to trade like the pre-earnings run up, right? At least you're prepared. Now you know it's on Wednesday. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, and then, you know, Friday, December 24th, market's probably closed, I think. I don't know. Right? Christmas Eve. But yeah, a lot of tools here, guys. You know, the visualize, you guys see all that shit on like Instagram and how they fucking get the images and they're like, ooh, look at this. Yeah, right here, man. So this is all the green, right? Microsoft green, Google green, Microsoft, Apple green. Yeah, you can zoom in. JD red today. Yeah, all this shit, indices, you can filter it out, right? Public, whatever you like, personal, boom, boom, pop, pop, pop. So yeah, like I said, guys, I'm glad you guys jumped on TOS, which is Thinkorswim, which is this platform. I'm not a sponsor by far, but goddamn, this is like the best free platform I've ever used in my life. And like I said, it's not like Fidelity's ATP. It doesn't like lag. Well, it does lag, but it doesn't lag as bad. All the crap here is very user friendly. Once you get used to it, again, like I said, it's very overwhelming at first, but give it like a couple months. You're gonna be like, holy shit, thank God I got on this platform and I got off Robinhood. Okay, simple as that. All right. But yeah, I know that was a mouthful webinar. Shit, it went over in it was pretty much hour and 30 minutes. But yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to end it here. I'm gonna take a shower, make some dinner, maybe trade some futures. What is futures right now? No, it's pretty much flat. But yeah, if not, guys, I'm probably going to not have a webinar until after New Year's. We only sped this one up because next week is Christmas. So if not, have a good Christmas and New Year's, guys. I do have something exciting too if you guys are newer traders here. I don't know if you guys are a monthly member or not, but we're going to be doing this a crash course for the first month in 2022 or towards the end of this month. And it's going to be hosted by one of our I guess you could say professional investor and our AP calculus professor. So it's going to be free to monthly and free to lifetime, obviously. But after the first month, pretty much it's going to be cut off and it's going to be only open through people that don't know how to trade yet. So it's going to be completely different from the Discord. So if you guys are still in, feel free to tune into that as well. The date's going to be posted sometime this week or next week, but it's going to happen. Last but not least, too, I'm going to offer, because my game plan, if you guys are in here and you guys really want to know, is I want to use this Discord as a legit investor club where I find the actual traders that will, you know, obviously succeed. And when I do create a trading room, I want them to be part of it. So I do want to push people to continue to, I guess, invest in our Investor Central Club. I want them to be a lifetime member so that we can keep this lifetime relationship. Okay. So again, like I said, I'm going to be offering a bigger discount to the monthly members that are in now if they want to jump the gun, if they want to take the leap of faith to become a lifetime member. And it's going to be more than what I'm going to be offering it to the public. So I'll let you guys know more about that as well. But yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to sign off here. I hope that was great. I hope you guys got a lot from it. Again, this is going to be recorded. It's a longer webinar, so it's going to take longer to upload on YouTube. But hey, I'm just glad you guys joined for today's webinar. Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
you, man. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy. Good night.